Thank you very much. So can everybody see me and hear me
Yes.
fine and see the presentation as well? Great, great. Thank you. So good afternoon from Hong Kong. We wish so much we can be there, but here we are stuck in Hong Kong with our still 1 week quarantine requirement. So joining me online today, there is Rene. So Rene is the research assistant of this study. She finished up her master's degree in Hong Kong and she's flying to Cornell for her PhD next month. So I have her for 2 more weeks. So before jumping into the presentation, I want to just make 2 comments about Detlef's presentation. I was in Second Life and we actually had our school in Second Life, and I have conducted some research in Second Life and published that. So imagine how old I am, you know, Detlef. So and when you talked about metaverse, I thought about my 11-year-old daughter spending 80% of her free time playing Roblox. And actually, she prefers seeing her friends in Roblox environment rather than in person. So I think they are the correct generation to target in the context of this business money making. And she actually makes me buy her things on Roblox more than in person. So I know my time is limited, so let me jump in to my topic. So today I would like to discuss hoteliers' take on attribute-based pricing. So this study is part of a big research project that I am working with my collaborator in United States and with Rene as research assistant. We have been working on this project for more than 1 year, and we would like to share with you some of the preliminary findings of this research. So before we jump into that, I know there are about 100 people sitting in that room right now. We have a quick poll with 3 questions. It is completely anonymous, so we just want to get a feeling in terms of, you know, what your thoughts are on attribute-based pricing. So please scan the QR code. Here is the first question. Do you foresee attribute-based pricing or selling to be used by hoteliers in the next 3 years? So I'll wait for a minute. We have 11 respondents so far. Okay, so it looks positive. Very few no's. Majority of the room seems optimistic. Yes. And some say it is already being used. Good then, this is the right place for this presentation. Let's move on to the second question. What type of hotel customers do you think would appreciate, or would prefer attribute-based pricing? This came up in our interviews with the industry experts. They basically told us not everybody would be into attribute-based pricing. So we are doing a word cloud here, just input the types of customers that you think would like this type of pricing. So leisure and family are everyone, okay, most repeated word is leisure, cost conscious, budget travelers, couples, families, millennials. So we see a trend, definitely leisure, price sensitive, thrifty, younger customers, long stay customers, budget customers. Thank you. What type of hotels should not implement attribute-based pricing? And for this question, you can choose more than one. We have economy all the way up to luxury, or you may choose everybody can implement it. Again, when we had this discussion with the industry experts, we got mixed perspective on this question as well. Some were saying this seems suitable for maybe economy to upscale, but maybe it is more difficult for luxury hotels to justify attribute-based pricing. But we see here the viewpoints are mixed. So more than half of the room believes that everybody can implement it, but 31% thinks, okay, it's down to 29%. Maybe it is not appropriate for luxury hotels. Okay, so with that, let's move on to our topic. I have to stop the poll because I am limited with time as well. So this is the research team, and this project is supported by our school's Hospitality and Tourism Research Center. So before we jump into the study itself, I would like to show you how we operationalized traditional room pricing in comparison to attribute-based pricing. So we did this study in two different ways. We talked to hoteliers. So today, this is the majority of the part I am going to present hoteliers' take on attribute-based pricing. But then we went to the customers as well. We asked customers' perspectives on attribute-based pricing too. So to do that, we had to show them what attribute-based pricing looks like and how it is different from traditional room pricing. So this is what we did. Here's an example, and the target market for this customer study was also leisure customers, just like majority of you selected in the question previously. So this is for a hotel in Hong Kong for a stay in April in Hong Kong dollars for a superior room, one night stay. So we have room details, room size, room view, bed type, breakfast, and a late checkout option. This is 1,624 Hong Kong dollars. So this is traditional room pricing. So we presented attribute-based pricing in two different ways to the customers. One is attribute-based pricing without prices. So here we have the same room attributes as the traditional pricing, but we give them options and we present them with the selected options. So there are 3 room sizes. We choose the middle option. We choose mountain view. We choose queen bed type, breakfast included, late checkout provided at 3. We don't show them attribute prices. We just give them a total price, the same, $1,624. And the third one is the attribute-based pricing with prices. So you might ask, when you look at the prices here, where do these prices come from? We actually have done a 3-stage study. First, we identify for a typical 4-star hotel targeting leisure customers, what would be the most important attributes that they can price. We identify these top 5 attributes, and then we did a second study. We actually did discrete choice modeling. So this is a very popular marketing type of modeling where we can compute people's willingness to pay. So we have done the second study and we have calculated the participants' willingness to pay. And these dollars, Hong Kong dollars attached to the attributes are coming from this computation. So now they are able to see for a 35 square meter room, what is the price for room view, mountain view specifically, how much they are paying, a queen bed price, breakfast price for 2, and then late checkout as well. And then the prices are added up together to reach the total price of 1,624 Hong Kong dollars. So in our customer perception study, so this is how we presented traditional room pricing in comparison to attribute-based pricing with or without prices. So this is how we visualize attributes-based pricing in the hotel industry, and this is how we presented it in our study. So I will come back to the preliminary results of customer perception study at the end. But now I would like to jump back into the major part I am going to present today, hoteliers' take on attribute-based pricing. So for this study, we talked to 19 hotel industry executives and 4 academic experts. Their domains include revenue management, IT, hotel operations, sales, and marketing, both at the corporate and the property level, with average work experience of 23 years, and they are located in China, Hong Kong, Germany, India, Singapore, Thailand, and United States. And average interview time was about 66 minutes. The questions that we asked to the interviewees were guided by the core revenue management processes. The chart here you see. So this is, this is the sort of, what we follow, the steps we follow when we implement revenue management. So these were, again, the guideline that we followed for this study. So we have a lot of findings, but we want to share a couple here that we think will be interest to you, and it will be guided by the attribute-based selling process. So attribute-based selling as a pricing strategy, we believe should be part of overall business strategy. And before anything can be done, there is a lot of back-end and front-end system preparation is needed, as well as organizational preparation. We need to teach everybody that is involved in this process what is attribute-based pricing, how it is going to change the way that we price the rooms, the way we present these rooms to the customers. So it is a completely different way of selling rooms in comparison to traditional room pricing. And in business analysis, we need to identify target customers. And I heard some talk, I have been listening to presentations since 12:30, and identifying, like target customers, our direct customers actually in this context are the most important ones to do attribute-based selling. So identifying target customers, mapping the hotel attributes, and among these hotel attributes, verifying valuable and sellable attributes is also very important. Then moving on to pricing strategy, I will go through these steps a little bit more in detail, so I am just reading them through right now. We need to price the attributes, then price the rooms, and also design attribute-based pricing booking process. And when we implement attribute-based pricing and traditional room pricing at the same time, we need to build up two different inventory sets. This is actually what was recommended by the industry experts. So they advise us to have two inventory sets at the same time, but then they will be synchronized in real time, talking to each other. So I would like to talk a little bit more detail about these four main steps. So let's take a look at system preparation. So front-end booking websites and applications should be built up for attribute-based shopping by hotel themselves or third-party technology companies. Attributes should be built onto the booking engine, and attribute-based shopping algorithm should be developed so that customers can review and choose the preferred attributes, with or without price tags during the booking process. So I am not very big on technology, so I'm just reading these notes directly from our respondents. And for backend systems, PMS, CRS, and RMS should be updated, and attribute-based pricing, reservations, and inventory control system should be created to support the implementation of attribute-based pricing. So replacing the room type as the most basic unit, attributes should be coded into these systems. And front-end and back-end systems should be well connected and communicate with each other seamlessly in real time. And also to go a little bit deeper on system preparation and backend systems. So normally in research studies, we do not disclose our participants, but we had somebody very knowledgeable to teach us how the backend systems would work. And this is Dr. Vinod from USA. He's actually very, very knowledgeable about pricing and inventory control in the context of attribute-based pricing. And here I put a reference to his presentation, Hotel Retailing with Attribute-Based Room Pricing and Inventory Control. So he recommended that hotels have a chief commander backend system, which stores availability, rate, and inventory of the attributes, and processes, this system processes reservations from different channels and calculate the room price and does the room assignment and suggestion. And in terms of where this system should be placed, it can be either part of a PMS, So this our participants, experts called enhanced property management system, where attribute-based pricing is embedded in the system, or there can be a completely independent attribute-based system. Then Dr. Vinod told us he patented a system that he developed. He calls this apricot. It is called attribute-based pricing and reservation inventory control technology system. And this system stores availability, rate, and inventory, receives shopping, booking, cancel requests, and processes these requests. And this system can analyze inventory to determine availability of a room that satisfies guest attribute requests, calculate the rate, and decide whether to accept or decline the booking, and then sends this decision to PMS or different distribution channel. And furthermore, it can do room assignment and suggestion as well. And in terms of attribute selection, so this is a very important step for hotels, and there was consensus among our participants that there are no sort of streamlined or one set of attributes that are valid for all hotels. This depends on hotel location, hotel price value relationship, brand name, target customers. What is valuable for one customer segment wouldn't be valuable for the other. I don't want to make fun of Hong Kong hoteliers, but the example I use in my classroom is the room view pricing in Hong Kong. So in Hong Kong, we have city view room, mountain view room, and harbor view room. And harbor view rooms are the most expensive rooms in terms of hotel view. But right now we are in summer in Hong Kong and it is typhoon season. It rains all the time and you cannot see anything out of the window. So, but hotels continue pricing harbor view rooms higher than other view rooms. It doesn't make sense, right? The value is not there during this period. So the experts that we have talked to, and also I believe in this myself as well, we should be very careful after we map out total hotel attributes to select valuable and sellable attributes. So valuable attributes are from customers, our target customers' perspective. Are they valuable? Are the customers willing to pay for these attributes? Because there are some attributes people like to have, but don't necessarily want to pay, right? So we have to differentiate those. And in terms of sellable attributes, so sellable attributes are the attributes that can be priced and sold and also has profitability. So these attributes should be reasonable, value added, unique and sensory attributes, or should be common attributes used to classify different room types. So our experts recommended that each hotel does the attribute mapping and then selecting valuable and sellable attributes, and among those select the attributes that they think suit them best. This can be done at the property level. And then comes the pricing of the attributes. So to set the initial prices, most probably there is not so much data to look at, right? For the first time when you implement attribute-based pricing, you need to decide how to price. And just like we have done in our study, hotels can use stated choice experiment through discrete choice modeling or conjoint analysis to identify what the starting prices should be for the attributes. And another way, this is not actually preferred way, but you can look at some of your room pricing today. For example, the extra customers pay for harbor view room in comparison to city view room. The difference would be the attribute for the harbor view room, attribute price for the harbor view room. So you need to set the initial prices and start. And once you have data about customer preferences, some demand and supply relationship, what are the attributes that are requested most, or whether your competitors implement the same pricing policy or not, so you can adjust these prices. And also automated pricing by AI and machine learning highly recommended. And the most advanced step of attribute-based pricing is the dynamic pricing, where price of the attributes change according to the demand. So this is stated as the most advanced form of attribute-based pricing. So we can present pricing of the rooms. We can do the pricing of the rooms in two different ways. First way is having specific prices for each attribute. You add them up and you reach total room rate. This is what we have done in our customer perception study. And two other things were recommended by the industry experts. First one is to have a base price. So think of base price as right to stay rate. So this can be maybe a rate for the most basic room category, right to stay rate. And then you will price all other attributes relative to this base price, and those are added together to get a total room rate. And the third method recommended by the hoteliers were having a base price and then have your room attributes not priced. For example, room view, away from the elevator, on a high floor. These are requests, but you don't show the customers the price. There's a price, but you don't show it to them. And then they make their selection. Then you can have some add-on attributes like late checkout or breakfast or limousine from the airport. So these options, customers can see the prices and they are used to that. So this was the third option that was recommended by the experts. So how can we then design the booking process? So you have to make a decision whether to have a base price or not to start with. The second decision is about number of attributes. So if you have too many attributes, this can be too time consuming for the customer, or it can be confusing as well. So you have to decide how many attributes you will have and how you are going to categorize them. And also need to make a decision whether you would like to add price tag or not to these attributes. And this one was very controversial in our study. Some experts were very adamant saying that we require price transparency. People have to know how much they are paying for. So this is important to include price tags. And some others said that no, we shouldn't do that. For example, especially for luxury type of hotels where, you know, it is not so elegant for that type of customer segment to show the prices one by one. So this is a choice that hotel has to make. And then once the customer completes their selection of the attributes, then you can show them the available rooms that satisfy all the requested attributes that match best to the customer's requirements. And here also, as an advanced stage, personalization was recommended. Once you have the customer data, then you can show them some personalized offers based on their, you know, historical behavior. So in terms of inventory management, there should be two sets of inventory, as I have mentioned before. One is traditional room type based inventory set, other one is attribute based inventory set, and they should be synchronized. And I know my time is finished, but give me 2 minutes to share with you the findings, preliminary findings of my research on customers' take on attribute-based pricing. So in this study, we have done a survey using 6 different scenarios. So for pricing strategy, we have 3 pricing strategies that you have seen: traditional room pricing, attribute-based pricing with prices, and attribute-based pricing without prices. And we presented them with 2 number of attributes. Either they solve 2 attributes or 5 attributes for a room. So we call this experimental design. So there are 6 scenarios, 3 by 2, 6 scenarios, and each respondent solve only 1 scenario out of 6. So our respondents for this study come from mainland China, 420 of them, 18 years old or above. Age distribution follows China national census, equal distribution between men and women, and they have stayed in an upscale hotel room for leisure travel in the past, and they have traveled to Hong Kong in the past 5 years. So this is what they have seen. This is traditional room pricing, 2 versus 5 attributes. This is attribute-based pricing without prices, 2 versus 5 attributes. This is attribute-based pricing with prices, 2 versus 5 attributes. So here are the preliminary findings. We looked at two main variables, willingness to book and perceived price complexity. So for both 2 and 5 attributes, we see willingness to book is highest for attribute-based pricing with prices. So this was surprising to us. The numbers are not much different. This is measured on a 1 to 7 Likert point scale. So they are overall high, but it is highest for attribute-based pricing with prices. And the second variable is perceived price complexity. Again, 1 to 7 scale. We see here, it is a little bit hard to read, but purple is attribute-based pricing with prices, and this had the lowest perceived price complexity. So, you know, in research, not everything works perfect. We were thinking 2 to 5 attributes was good enough to do this test, but we realized 5 attributes, look at 2 to 5 attributes, perceptions didn't differ at all almost. So now we are doing another follow-up study where we are going to have more than 10 attributes. And we want to see whether perceptions change, whether, you know, when we add more and more attributes to their choice set. So that will bring me to the end of my presentation, and here are takeaways. Get your front and back end systems ready. There is no one-fits-all attribute list for hotels. Choose the attributes that your customers value, and again, you know, do some background work and do calculate their willingness to pay. Create an attribute-based inventory list and make the booking process user-friendly. So that will be it for today. Thank you very much for listening. We are in the process of producing a paper out of this. So if you are interested in this study, please contact me, and we will be very happy with you to share more detailed research findings. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow.